Hi guys, hello, welcome back to another video right here on the channel. So, Mel, it is the start of the month, which means...
Streetfighter?
Which means Streetfighter, and we are, I think we've passed the 2/3 mark now. We start this one with issue number 39. So 39, 40, 41, 42. So yeah, we're knocking along, aren't we?
Yeah.
And the regulars are still enjoying it, so that's all good, isn't it? Okay, so I'll tell you what, let's get stuck straight in. So we've got here, number 39, and we have DJ. Now, I have heard the DJ. As viewers of the show, regular viewers know, I've been caught out on quite a few of these because I am like a Street Fighter 2 man. I know all the originals, Honda, Ken, Ryu, etc, Blanca. But here we go anyway, so let's find out a little bit more about DJ. Okay, so DJ is the Southern Comet. Expert in music and martial arts, okay? That's why DJ is a Jamaican kickboxing expert whose life revolves around his passion for music. In fact, fighting is a way for him to find the inspiration he needs to make his songs come to life. An interesting guy. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That's DJ. Okay, so let's go into his player bio and stuff. So it says, the king of rhythm, the fame and prestige DJ achieved after that fight turned him into a very famous person in his native Jamaica. Obviously, the fight mentioned is the paragraph above. I just randomly picked a paragraph off there. His quote, "Your problem is you have no rhythm. If you take it so seriously, you won't enjoy the combat." And there's a very funny little like graphic of him here with like a little pair of like maracas that you can see there, which I say in every issue, I love the artwork, don't I? Okay, did you know, one for the price of two, DJ made his debut in the series and one of the new challenges in Super Street Fighter 2 in 1993. That's where I know him from. Okay, and his bio. I've got a very interesting birthday, the 31st of October.
Your favourite day?
My favourite holiday, yeah, Halloween. Birthplace Jamaica, 1.84 metres in height, 92 kilograms in weight. And like aforementioned, his Super Street Fighter 2, the new challenges was his debut, okay? So what we normally do is we go on now and we have a look at some of his moves and see what he's about. Okay, so it says maximum balance. DJ is a balanced fighter. He doesn't have huge strengths, but he doesn't have weaknesses that make him vulnerable in any way either. So you can either go for fighters that are more elite, can't you?
Yeah.
They're like quite tricky and like almost glass jaws. Or you can go for like other fighters that are like, you know, mixed like this guy. So he's obviously like a balanced one, and he probably would be a good introductory fighter for someone new to the game. Where are we? So his moves then. His main technique is called the air slasher, the maximum projectile. Then we go on to the Sobat Festival, which are wave of blows. Jackknife maximum, the aerial rhythm. And climax beat, the rain of fists. So he does look quite a tasty, handy guy in combat, doesn't he? You just see the graphics there of his various moves. Okay. Again, just look at the artwork here, guys. Absolutely lovely. We love it, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Okay, and we have our poster of DJ. That's nice,
That's a cool picture, yeah.
Yeah.
I like his hair.
I love it, yeah. I love the tree in the background and stuff. That's like a really good poster. Again, we have said there will be some of these on the way to the regular viewers. You guys know you are after the series is finished. Okay, The Legend of Street Fighter takes us to Street Fighter 2-5. This is why, sorry, it's not the games. After Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, the battle against M. Bison was turned into an animated series. So there we go, guys. So the Street Fighter universe is, again, the regulars know, is quite vast. There's like anime, there's comics, isn't there? There's obviously animated series, there's films.
Yeah. Not
just about games. It's a Titanic franchise, isn't it? Okay. Street Fighter 2-5 maintained its high quality through the 29 episodes of the series.
Oh.
Okay. So there we go. There's a little bit. It tells us all about the series there, guys, and where you can find it, what it's about, etc. And the history of Capcom. This time, power to the superheroes, the Marvel vs. Capcom series. I love these. There's nothing like playing a Spider-Man or a Captain America against like Ryu or something like that. In 1998, Capcom gave its reference crossover franchise its definite name. It shows a little bit about the second title, and it just says a little bit about the legal wranglings with Sony and stuff with the PlayStation emblem there, so we can see that, guys. Okay, so again, it's just a myriad, isn't it? Street Fighter games, there's just so many of them. And finishing off there, the crossover continues. Ultimate Marvel vs Capcom 3 and MVC Infinite continue the battle between the two worlds. Okay, so obviously this was a big sort of franchise spinning set of video games. As I say, I played a couple of them, but I haven't played many of them, to be fair. So there's your final pictures, guys, and our little blip there, little sketch of DJ. So if you'd be as kind, Mel, to show our man.
Ooh.
So obviously a very colourful guy in the orange pants and stuff, and as always, guys, he'll be on a turntable along with the other three fighters at the end of the episode. Okay, so going on to number 40, we've reached the landmark. 40 out of 60. We really have, haven't we? And this is Rolento. Straight away, he is like a military guy, isn't he? He's got like hand grenades on him and stuff like that. He's, yeah. It looks like, again, I say this every time, don't I? Like another interesting character.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Rolento, the military veteran, a soldier searching for his own utopia. So he looks like a bit of a mercenary, doesn't he, at first glance? Rolento hardened up in the toughest battlefields. Now he's fully determined to create his own utopian military nation. When he gets involved in a street fight, he has no hesitation in using his arsenal. His little quote: "Is that what you call a surprise attack? Sad, you'd make a terrible soldier." So I think we thought he was like a mercenary at first, but he appears to be a little bit of a dictator there, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's got that little bit of a niggle in him.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, "Control and discipline, that is what is needed to reach one's goal, and what distinguishes a soldier from a mere fighter." Okay, so some very interesting artwork about him here. It says, "Did you know, Soldier of Fortune, Rolento made his debut in Final Fight." That was, I thought I knew the face from somewhere. The successful beat-em-up that Capcom released for arcades in 1989. Okay, do we have any Final Fight fans about? I'm sure you will do if you like the fighters. I still play it. Only the other night I was playing Streets of Rage on a Mega Drive, so those old 2D fighters were great. His bio, date of birth, the 15th of November. He's from the United States of America, as are some of our favourite friends in the world. 1.8 metres in height, 81 kilograms in weight, and his debut was the aforementioned Final Fight of 1989. So just showing you a little bit more about him there. He seems sort of standing to attention there, and those big hand grenades ready for action. Okay, what do you think of him so far then?
Quite scary.
Quite scary, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and it says, with the stroke of a cane, Rolento fights with a cane that allows him to perform longer range attacks than usual, so he's a ranged fighter. It's going to make him even more dangerous. Okay, and his main techniques are the throwing knife, which they call the Stinger, the lethal sentence, says take no prisoners, the spinning cane, he also nicknames that the Patriot Circle, and the Minesweeper, which is the connected grenades. So he does sound like a really tricky customer. Has anybody actually played with this guy? Have you seen him? Let me know what he's like. I don't think I'd fancy playing as him, but I'd certainly fancy playing against him, because he's going to give you an awful lot of challenges with the ranged and the close, you know. And again, another totally dynamic pose. There we go. Okay. So he's got like a little bit of a look of guile about him, hasn't he, as well? I think it's obviously the military connection. Okay, Legend of Street Fighter. Street Fighter, the animated series, which we saw briefly in the last magazine. We go more into it. With Street Fighter Ultimate Battle from 1994, says wasn't as successful as expected, so the plans for a possible sequel were cancelled. Okay, so again, moving on to that there. I think that's Ryu in the corner, by the look of it. So details all that there, guys. Shows us all about that, gives us all the reading. Was it cancelled, was it not? I don't know, I'll probably end up reading the magazine after the episode. The History of Capcom. Okay, so we come into now. It says High School Problems, the Rival Schools franchise. In 1997, Capcom released a new fight franchise that achieved great success. It looks a bit like a Tekken, wouldn't mean a lot to you, that like a 3D kind of fighter, as to my favourite 2D. Gives us a wee bit of detail on that there, shows some of the characters and obviously some of the screenshots. Anybody play this one? Heard of it? Never played it. And finishing off, a new course, Project Justice, the sequel to Rival Schools, improved on its predecessor in every way, okay? So that was called Project Justice Rival Schools 2. And it just shows a wee bit about that there. And our portrait of our friend Rolento. So, be kind to show Rolento.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, his eyes are evil on this.
Okay, again, you will see that closely on the turntable. Now, this guy I like the look of right away. Yeah, this guy is called Hakan. And we'll look at issue 41. And is it me, or does anybody else straight away get Hellboy vibes?
Yeah.
It could be like Ron Perlman, couldn't it? To be truthful. Okay, so he says Hakan, the slippery fighter, great champion of Turkish wrestling. So he's like a wrestling character. Hakan is a loving family man, an entrepreneur, and a fervent defender of his great passion, which is also national sport in his country, Turkish wrestling. He is a champion in this discipline and wants to share it with the world. And he says to us, the best fighting discipline known is Turkish wrestling. Everyone knows that. And we see a picture of him there. Big boy, isn't he?
I wouldn't like to meet him down the dark alley.
Okay. He also tells us, do you like cooking oil? I can give you some samples of mine if you want. It's the best in the world. So he's obviously a bit of a joker as well. He likes his kebabs and that, doesn't he? You know, who can blame the man? Okay, it says, did you know the king of oil? Hakan made his debut in Super Street Fighter 4 in 2010 as one of the great new elements of the game. Super Street Fighter 4 came to the market with some new fighters who joined the original squad of Street Fighter 4. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, 13th of November for the date of birth. Birthplace, as we know, Turkey. 1.9 metres in height. 110 kilograms, probably a few of them Turkish kebabs. His debut, Super Street Fighter 4, 2010. Says, once seen, never forgotten. And looking at some of the artwork we can see of our friend there, they're probably right. Okay, so his techniques and his abilities. It says, catch him if you can. So there's the oil shower, the greased up power, the oil coaster, the slippery cannon, the oil dive, the clashing slipping, and the oil combination hold, the anti-aerial slip.
I'm not sure I'd like to fight him. He's slipping and sliding everywhere.
Behave, Wayne. Okay, there we go. Some of those techniques there. See a certain somebody from Enfield having a little snigger at some of those expressions there, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay, and there he is, our friend, Hellboy, otherwise known as Hakan. Okay. It's a very interesting picture, that one, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got like all like little kids. I mean, maybe his family or, you know, in the background there. Okay, Legend of Street Fighter. So we move on to Alpha, the movie. So it's a second Japanese animated feature film based on the Street Fighter franchise. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this part of the magazine. I mean, obviously they're animated series and stuff like that, and if you've got guys out there, or some of you guys certainly are like obviously massive fans of the franchise, still with us after all these episodes now, watch these, let us know below, you know, what are they like? They do look good, but like everything, you know, people have like time constraints and whatever, so I doubt it's something I'll ever get to sit down and watch, but you know, hey, something out there for everyone. Now we're talking the history of Capcom. And we just upped our game, guys. Horror in the City, Resident Evil 2. Yeah, doesn't need any introducing to any kind of horror or PlayStation fan at all, or a fan of Capcom. Absolutely fantastic franchise. Zombies, messed up, love it. Okay, there we go. You don't need much more airtime out of me, guys. I waffle enough on every video I ever make anyway. We all know what Resident Evil's about. The Last Survivor, Resident Evil 3. Completed its first trilogy by introducing the ultimate enemy, and he was called Nemesis, and he used to stalk you. So you'd be walking around doing what you were doing within the game, and then he'd appear and he'd just start chasing you. And this guy was just big, and he was scary, and he was horrible. Also of note, he showed Resident Evil Survivor, which was a light gun game, which took you inside the mansion in 3D, shooting all the zombies. So again, for a horror fan like myself, or a fledgling horror fan, I call myself really, you know. Yeah, really, really good. Always lovely to see the appearance of Resident Evil 3. And sorry, I think I just missed out his little, you probably saw it there as those flashing pages, his little sketch. So if you do the honours again, please.
This is a cool figure.
That's a really good figure. I
It is,
really,
isn't it?
yeah, I really love the detail on him, to be fair.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing him later. And finally, guys, we come to issue number 42. Any of our Mexican viewers out there, before I say it, I hope I don't butcher it, El Fuerte, I think that is.
Yeah.
And looks like a luchador. So he should be quite an interesting guy again. Very light and very manoeuvrable, I'd imagine. Yeah. The Mexican Hurricane. A wrestler who can be dangerous in the ring and in the kitchen. What is with these guys in the food? You had the last fellow with the kebabs, this fellow with... Let's have a look. El Fuerte is a Mexican wrestling expert and also a diligent cook. He became a renowned fighter but wasn't so successful with his cooking, although that's not what he thinks. So obviously he's he thinks he's a little bit better than what he is. And he says to us, in the ring or in the kitchen, I'm invincible. I'm the hurricane of the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so there is El Fuerte. There he is. Yeah. He should be quite an interesting. He is, quite an interesting figure as well. Okay. He also tells us when the combat is over, you'll have the chance to try my new dish, tortilla with spicy sauce and chili. I don't want to fight him, but I'll try the chili. So yeah, just says wrestle, cook, and start again. After making a name for himself in the Mexican wrestling circuit, El Fuerte decided to travel the world. Not only did he want to compete against other famous wrestlers from all over the planet, he also wanted to find new ingredients and recipes that would help him become one of the best chefs of all time. And there's one with his little frying pan there. Maybe an angry Samwise Gamgee. Possibly the frying pan. Okay, fun facts. The Masked Fighter. El Fuerte made his debut in the arcade version of Street Fighter 4 2008, where he was one of the 4 main novelties in the game, and he came back in successive revisions. So his birth date is the 29th of October, from Mexico, 1.68 metres, 70 kilograms in weight, and like I say, Super Street Fighter 4 was his debut. It says small but mighty, maybe a little bit of a Rey Mysterio for you wrestling fans out there, possibly. Oh, yeah, this I love now. I'm having a look at his techniques and abilities. It says fast like the wind. So he has the Habanero Dash, which is the unpredictable run. Ultra Spark, which is the rising hurricane. The Guacamole leg throw, which is an aerial hold. And Dynamite, which is an explosive somersault. So just showing all those little moves there. Nice little graphic of the man himself. There we go. Okay. Does look interesting to play, doesn't he?
It does, yeah.
And there he is in his with that little running move there.
Yeah.
A very, very interesting, dynamic poster. Okay, and moving on to the Legend of Street Fighter. Street Fighter Alpha Generations, a shocking and revealing anime. So obviously gets a little bit darker by the looks of some of the stuff I'm seeing on the page, which I'll show in a minute. Generations goes back to the training years of Gukan and Akuma. We met Akuma previously, haven't we? Okay, so there we go with that, folks. Coming to the end of this one now. The History of Capcom, Jurassic Panic, the Dino Crisis franchise. So this was it was a cross between Jurassic Park and Resident Evil. They went with the same kind of gameplay, except you were running around getting chased by dinosaurs as to zombies.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of it. I'll be honest, not for me. I've got no, unlike Dave the Reptile Man, I've got no Jurassic Park links or fan. I love the music, and I think the first couple of films are good, but Dino Crisis not for me. There might be someone like Jason who would probably enjoy it a lot more than I would. It shows us a little bit of Dino Crisis too. So there we go. Hoping you can see some of the dinosaur action there in the screenshots. Trying my hardest to avoid the glare. And we finish off with Giant Lizards in Outer Space, Dino Crisis 3. And this is obviously on the original Xbox by the graphic. I have never heard of it. I'm presuming it's Resident Evil dash Jurassic Park dash meets Aliens kind of hybrid. So Microsoft entered the world of game consoles for the first time with Xbox, a system released in 2001 that became the most powerful console of its generation. The Dino Crisis series continued with this console, and it did with a very singular installment. Okay, so yeah, just shows us the days on the original Xbox of Dino Crisis 3, Dinosaurs in Space. Okay, and we'll finish off there with a little sketch of El Fuerte. And Mel, if you'd show us for the last time, before we go to the turntable, our figure. Okay.
Yep.
So guys, there you go. There are your 4 new issues, your 4 new fighters, a little bit of like my rambling as well. Let us know. Have you played any of these guys? Would you play any of them? What would your favourite figure be if you had it? Are you collecting this series? Someone recently left me a comment and he's been watching for the series and he's decided to just buy the ones he wants. So on that note, I'm happy, we're happy that we can actually help you out, buddy, with that, and anybody else obviously watching. I'm not going to give you the YouTube garb because it's you guys who come back every month for the same thing, you know. So just leave your comments below, guys. Okay, enjoy the turntable and we'll see you all next month, Melody.
Bye-bye for now.
See you later.